Grand Admiral Thrawn makes the planet Dathomir his first destination after barely fleeing Peridea, and the alternate galaxy of Star Wars in the Ahsoka epilogue. But why? Grand Admiral Thrawn has undoubtedly prepared every aspect of his return to the original Star Wars galaxy while he has been exiled on Peridea for years. He and his new friends, however, chose to go to the deserted planet of Dathomir rather than announce their victorious arrival to the Imperial remnant, who depend on his leadership as seen in The Mandalorian Season 3. The three great mothers of the Nightsisters, who utilize the Force in a special manner that manifests as a misty green sorcery, are witches that Thrawn aligned himself with when he was on Peridea. The Great Mother's abilities are quite different from those of the Jedi. They fight their adversaries with spells and rituals and have even been known to reanimate the dead. Although Thrawn's alliance with the Great Mothers has been and continues to be very advantageous for him, it is doubtful that they are doing so purely out of altruism. They must benefit from it somehow, and maybe that benefit might be discovered in Dathomir. Dathomir is where Thrawn travels since it is the home of the Nightsisters. On Dathomir, a group of Nightsisters are positioned adjacent to one another. The Dathomirian Nightsisters lived on Dathomir, a desolate red planet in the outer rim of the main galaxy of Star Wars, until the Separatists carried out a genocide against their people during the Clone Wars. But the Nightsisters of Dathomir are the offspring of the Nightsisters of Peridea, as the Ahsoka television series has established. Long ago, they rode the purrgil, Star Wars space whales, across galaxies before landing on Dathomir. The fact that Morgan Elsbeth could hear the Great Mother's cries while being in a separate galaxy was due to the fact that she was a Dathomirian Nightsister. Despite Morgan's death in Ahsoka Episode 8 Part 8, the Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord, the Great Mothers were able to go with Thrawn to the original Star Wars galaxy. It would make sense for the Great Mothers to desire to travel to Dathomir, as they weren't revealed to have any other friends or Nightsisters as members of their coven on Peridea and Ahsoka. Dathomir has a great affinity for the dark side of the Force, and the Nightsisters have a natural intrinsic connection to their homeworld. The least Thrawn could do for the Great Mothers was to return them to Dathomir after all the assistance and resources they had given him. Grand Admiral Thrawn's plans for Dathomir, what are they? In the Ahsoka epilogue, Thrawn launches into hyperspace in the Eye of Sion. Grand Admiral Thrawn's tactical skill is one of the reasons he is such a terrifying foe. He nearly never falls behind his adversaries. And even more essential, he is not afraid to acknowledge and correct his errors. When Morgan believes that Ahsoka, Sabine, and Ezra can do nothing to prevent their departure in Ahsoka Episode 8, Thrawn remarks, "I've seen many an Imperial commander make the same assumptions about the rebellion. Even I was a victim of one Jedi's bravery." One of Thrawn's few shortcomings before being defeated in Star Wars Rebels was his inability to fully comprehend the might of the Force and the will of a single Jedi. Up until this point, he had nothing to combat that level of force. Thrawn might have an army of Force users on his side as he strives to revive the Empire by bringing the Great Mothers back to Dathomir and potentially giving them the chance to reclaim the power of their coven. The Great Mothers have previously proved beneficial in conditions like battle. During Thrawn's desperate effort to be stopped, they resurrected his dead warriors to hold Ahsoka and her comrades at bay. They may still do a lot more for him, and it could take some time before anybody discovers them given Dathomir's strategic and isolated location in the galaxy. Grand Admiral Thrawn is only getting started, as the Ahsoka finale demonstrated, and the New Republic will soon be dealing with a ton of brand new issues.